Robert Shirtliff joined the Continental Army in May of 1782 in Bellingham, Massachusetts, and he went on to serve 17 months in the light infantry of the 4th Massachusetts Regiment, before being wounded at the Battle of Tarrytown and eventually discharged in 1783. The problem with this story is that Robert Shirtliff never existed. He was on the rolls, his name was on there was a signature, but he was actually a woman named Deborah Sampson, who made up the name Robert Shirtliff in order to join the Army and fight. Deborah Sampson was born in 1760 in Plimpton, Massachusetts, to a modest household, though she was bounced around between homes after her father disappeared, eventually finding herself as an indentured servant. She was also known as a weaver and woodworker, and was mechanically inclined, made money on the side using her skills. At 5'9", she was taller than most men of her day, and was described as quite plain and of regular features, broad and strong and not particularly feminine, all of which contributed to her being able to hide in plain sight. Additionally, the light infantry brigades were specially picked for their larger size and strength, used to flank and in forward reconnaissance duties. After seeing combat in small skirmishes, she participated in her first battle at Tarrytown, New York, during which she was shot twice in the thigh and had her forehead cut open. Despite begging her fellow soldiers not to take her to the hospital, she was taken anyway, and after the doctors treated her forehead, she snuck out before having the gunshot wounds tended to. With a sewing needle and penknife, she removed one musket ball, but was unable to extract the other, which would remain in her leg for the rest of her life. Due to her injury, she was reassigned as a waiter to General John Patterson. After the war was unofficially over, post-Battle of Yorktown, but prior to an official peace treaty, 400 soldiers held a protest in Philadelphia demanding pay and discharge. A contingent under General Patterson was sent to quell it, including Sampson. While in Philadelphia, she became sick, where Dr. Barnabas Binney cared for her. After removing her clothes, he discovered the cloth she bound her chest with, and rather than alert the army, he took her back to his house so that his wife and daughters could care for her. Once she recovered, Dr. Binney asked her to deliver a note to General Patterson, which she did, while correctly assuming that the doctor would be informing the general of her disguise. General Patterson decided not to reprimand her, honorably discharged her from the army on October 25th, 1783, and she was provided money for her travel home. After the war, she went on to lead a fairly normal life, getting married to Benjamin Gannett, having children, and farming a small plot of land. After revelation of her being a woman, the army refused to pay her upon her discharge, and she had to petition the state of Massachusetts for her withheld pay. Governor John Hancock signed off on her being paid, and with the help from her friend, a local named Paul Revere, she became one of the first women to receive a military pension in America. Deborah Sampson Gannett died of yellow fever in 1827 at 66 years old. She is memorialized here in Sharon, Massachusetts, as well as in Plimpton, and during World War II, the Liberty ship SS Deborah Gannett was named for her, and she is considered the official heroine of Massachusetts and is the so-called first woman to take a bullet for America. If you enjoy the videos and want early access or behind-the-scenes content, check out my Patreon in the link in the description. Either way, thanks for watching, and as always, until next time, get lost.